Hi guys, welcome back with another video. This is by request. A few of you asked me to make a video on all my sapotes. Well, here it is. I've been waiting for the fruit to grow, to show something other than just leaves, right? And speaking about leaves, check them all out here on the ground. This is autumn for white sapote. That is summer. Summertime is when the white sapote leaves drop here at Fruitopia. You would think it's April, but it's only January, guys, and the old leaves are fallen. It's a mess, but that's all right. That's where we get our mulch, right? So when it's windy and stormy, nature does all the work for me. So that's just from one tree. There they are, these ones here. These yellow ones, right? And I turn brown. So don't be afraid if you see that. Don't be afraid if you see yellow leaves, in other words. This is just the tree renewing its leaves, just like the guava, right? Doesn't mean your tree's sick. Don't be afraid. This is normal. And don't be afraid of that either. It's all self-cleansing. I used to spray, and at the end of the day, the tree does all the work, and also the other bugs, the good bugs. All right, so that's the white sapote. Let's get moving along. I've got 5 of them here in the front, and I've got another 3 in the back. But I'm not going to show every white sapote because the video would take 1 hour. This is the main one, or the heaviest cropping one that I have, the lemon gold. But my favorite tasting one is the Hawaiian Supreme. This one. It's got a brown sugar taste, and I think it's slightly better than the lemon gold. The lemon gold's probably an 8 out of 10. This is more like a 9 out of 10. So it's slightly delicious, more delicious. And this has also got the same problem on the back of the leaf. See that? This one has it the most. This has it really bad. See, every leaf is infested with the black spots. I forget right now what they're called. Yeah, see them? Every summer. And then you get the sooty mold on the leaves too. But eventually all these drop to make way for these. These are the new leaves. See these leaves here? These just came in December, brand new. And they replace those sickly looking ones. So you can either spray these old ones which are gonna fall, or just wait and let nature take care of it. Doesn't seem to affect production much, right? Still get all the fruit with or without those black spots being dealt with. I just, went with my own experience. Look at this. Look how bad that is. Hang on. Right? It's extreme on this tree. Extreme. So they're the 2 white sapotes, and over there I've got another one, the Vernon. This one doesn't get any black spots. Amazing, huh? Not one leaf is affected. You would think it would be able to jump from over there to over here. So close, and yet it leaves this tree alone. Go figure. You know how they say you better spray your tree or it's going to affect the other trees? Well, that hasn't affected this tree. So wrong, completely unaffected. Next we move on to the black sapote. So we went from white to black, right? And I have Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 in ground and 1 in a pot, I think, or 2 in a pot, I don't remember. But anyway, this is the tallest one, and they're all flowering. They're all loaded, but they're not fully set yet, because we're about 2 months behind the tropics. In the tropics, these are already growing, right? But in Melbourne, we have to wait till February, March before we see who's hanging and who's dropping. So another month and we'll know how many black sapotes are gonna stick around. But there's about 100 on here at the moment, at the very early flowering stage. It only started to flower in December, around the time that they were setting in the tropics. Yeah, so a good 2 months behind, but that's all right, guys. The end result is similar, it's the same. It's just the timing that varies. And this is a seedling. I don't know which variety it is. Probably a Bernica, I'm guessing, just a guess. It's standing at 2.3 meters, 2.4 meters. So I'm pretty happy with this one. It's been in the ground for 3 years, and I've never protected it from the cold in winter in Melbourne. It's completely exposed to the wind, to the sun, full sun all day, including 37 Celsius, 100 Fahrenheit. Not a problem, didn't affect one leaf. And as you can see, these are all new leaves. All the old leaves have already dropped. So let's move on to the other black sapotes in the back. Okay, around the corner here, I have this guy, the second black sapote, and this one is the oldest. He's the oldest, but he's not the tallest, and the reason for that, I've explained in the past, was he had a sudden, near fatal death experience 5 years ago. Yeah, but I'm not going to go into that right now. He almost died 5 years ago. I put him in a pot. He was in the ground 5 years ago, and he was as tall as the one I just showed you, over 2 meters. And he suddenly died back to that much in the ground. Oh, here it is here. There it is there. See that there? It came down to that level, where that little stump is. That's how low he got. And I thought, oh well, I'll just put him in a pot. I'll put this dead stick in a pot. And that dead stick sprouted the following year. That new stick, the new stem. And since then, I put him, then a year after that, I put him back in the ground in this new location. And he's flourished for the last 5 years, 4 years, or 5 years, I don't remember. 4 years, I think, in this new location. He's about 1.7 meters, right? And extremely healthy. He's also dropped all the old leaves and covered with new leaves and covered with hundreds, even more flowers than the one I showed you before. He's got over 1,000 flowers, but none of them are set yet. Still waiting. We'll know in about a month if we get any fruit from this beauty. There's an old leaf, still hasn't fallen. Okay, if it doesn't come, leave it. Let it fall on its own. So that's packed, as you can see, with little flowers or early fruitlets. So that's black sapote number 2. And that's also a seedling. The next black sapote is that one there. And this one is grafted. I've had him in the ground now for 2 years. And You can see all the new leaves on him too, and he's doing great. Guys, the black sapotes are very, very tolerant of Melbourne's crazy weather, as you can see. Whether they're in full sun, like the first one I showed you, or in mostly shade. This one is mostly shaded. It gets early morning sun from up there for about 2 or 3 hours, and the remaining 7 hours or 8 hours, it's shaded by the avocado and the ice cream bean. So they seem to do fine, either shaded or in full sun once they're established or semi-established. I'm not talking about little pipsqueaks. I'm talking about, you know, at least a 2 to 3 year old tree. And this one has a few fruitlets or flowers, not as many as the other 2 trees I showed you. You might have 20, 30, 40. Yeah, but we have to wait again to see if they're gonna hold. And the variety here is called Tahiti. Black Sapote Tahiti. Oh yeah, and he's getting a lot of protection at the back from the bananas and the sugarcane. So he's protected all around, except in this direction that's open. But you still got the ice cream bean here protecting him from above. This is the opening in here where he gets that early morning sun. So he's got the best seat in the house. Okay. Next, we have this little fella, the youngest member to go in the ground. And this is the Mar variety, Mar. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flowers. I don't expect him to hold a fruit though at only 2 years of age. He's a baby. He's a little baby. And I put him in the ground in spring. So that was what, 3 months ago? And that's how you spell Mar, M-A-H-E-R, right? Mar. But they're all good. They're all good, guys. Just stay away from the colossal and the mossman. They're strictly tropical, especially the mossman. Give it a try if you want, but that's what I've been told. And the final one is this one here, him. So this is the Bernica grafted. So they're my black sapotes, guys. 3 in ground and 1 here in the pot. This is the most common black sapote in Australia. Well, in the southern states at least. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fruitlets. But there's no way I'm gonna have him hold on to any fruit. Too young. Also 2 years old. Next, we move on to the green sapote. And the green sapote is this guy here. Yeah, and he's a seedling and doing very, very well. They don't mind the cold at all. These are more cold hardy than the last sapotes I'm going to show you at the end of this video. And I would say they're equally as cold hardy as black sapote, but white sapote is the most cold hardy of all. It's the king of cold hardy. Don't ask me for temperature ranges, but let's just say they can all withstand freezes down below 0 Celsius. Not too much below 0, let's say -1, -2. So don't get too excited. I would say this would be a goner at -5, -4. So if you're in Canberra, you won't be able to have a green sapote like this out in the open. Not at least till it's fully established. So that's one green sapote I have here in the ground for 2 years now. And that's the name there. If it gets to focus. Nope, doesn't want to focus. There you are. Yes, okay, there you go, green sapote. It's similar to the Mamey sapote, but let's just say it's its younger brother. Much smaller than the Mamey. Mamey is the king or the queen of the sapotes. We're going to do that one last. So that's one of 2 green sapotes I have. Right? Let's go to the other one. And I have it beside the Subel custard apple, which is a champion, and the persimmon, which is, well, in a different league of its own. Okay, the second green sapote is right here, guys. That one there, also in ground. This one has been in ground for 1 year, and the other one I showed you has been in ground for 2 years, and they're both doing equally well. 0 protection in winter, and even during winter it was sending out new growth like this. See this new growth? That was happening in July, midwinter in July. These were coming without any frost protection. How's that for super cold tolerant? Just like the white sapote. So you could grow this anywhere in southern Australia, except maybe for ACT and the coldest parts of Tasmania. But try it in a pot, right? Or covered with a frost cloth if you want to try in ground in those zones. But in Melbourne, Adelaide and Sydney, man, piece of cake. Okay, now we're gonna move into the next category of sapotes, which are not cold hardy at all. Okay, so if you get freezers, you can forget about the next category, unless you provide a lot of protection, right? So if you're in Sydney and above, you could easily go for the next category. The reason why they're still alive for me here in Melbourne is because I put them in the greenhouse. That's why they're still alive. They cannot live outside on their own like the green sapote, white sapote and black sapote. I'm talking about this guy here. This guy here needs a greenhouse in winter. In Melbourne, I'm not talking about Sydney. In Sydney, I don't know, because Sydney has many climate zones. There's the mountains, that's freezing, and there's the beaches, which is tropical, subtropical, right? So it depends where in Sydney you are. I can't really comment. It depends on your location in Sydney. But down here in Melbourne, this guy here, it's known as a canistel, right? Or Ross sapote. This one here needs protection in winter, as I keep saying. Forget about putting it in the ground. It's not going to make it. Canistel will not survive in the ground in Victoria. Okay, so there's different canistels. This is the Ross sapote. It's also known as a yellow sapote. And here's another one. And I think that one was a seedling. That one was a seedling. And this one here is grafted, I believe. Let's see, yeah, Aurea. That's the Aurea variety, which I picked up a few months ago. Right, grafted. Yeah, I tried one in the ground last winter and it died. It made it through winter, but come spring, it died back like they always do, right? I'll show you what I mean. This is my little dahlia's graveyard. All dead. And these weren't even in the ground, these pots. All these pots died, all these plants in pots died in there. They died in there. Under protection they died. So that's how extreme they are with cold. I'm not going to go through all those, that's another video. But here's the canistel, which I tried in the ground. And it survived winter, like I said. It had growth. There's a video I made about that, if you check it out. When I removed the frost cloth from the Rollinia and the canistel back in September. I did it too early. I should have left the frost cloth on till October. I was lucky the Rollinia made it, but the canistel said nope, no thanks. And it was dead in October. And it was a seedling, it wasn't even grafted, and it still died. So I'm gonna pull him out and put something else here. So this is a stamp for you guys, a reminder to not try yellow sapote or canistel in ground in Melbourne. Okay? Unless you can provide the best protection. I tried the best I could, which was just a frost cloth. And it almost made it. Look at all these dead guys everywhere. These are all dead plants from dahlias. Just in the last 6 months or 12 months, let's say. Huh? It's amazing, right? Okay, now we're gonna move on. And I've got another canistel, which I picked up last week, but I'm not gonna show that because that's not important. What's important is to show you a basic rundown of my sapotes. This one is the one I mentioned earlier. That's the most what do you call it? The most cold sensitive sapote I have. Not that I have, anyone has. It's the Mamey sapote. And this one, guys, I don't know how it survived in the greenhouse. It really blew me away. A champion, right? Let's get closer. Oh, before I show you the Mamey sapote, I forgot one. I forgot the Sapodilla. The Sapodilla comes first, and then the Mamey sapote. This is also known as Chico sapote. And I'm surprised this one survived also. Yeah, Sapodilla is not happy with frost and temperatures below 5 Celsius, which we get a lot of 2s and 3s and 4s in winter, like 20 of them, almost a month worth of temperatures below 5 at night. And he was in the greenhouse, that one I showed you over there, and he survived 100%. Not even one leaf was dropped. Couldn't believe it. Same with the here, the Mamey. He was a champion. He was growing in the greenhouse new leaves in winter. Can you believe that? Unreal. So this one is grafted. A grafted Sapodilla. Sour Manila is the variety, which I don't know if you can see, but that's it there. Right, and I got a new one in last week's Dahlia's unboxing, which you might have seen. The Prolific. And a few months ago I lost a variety called the Tropical, and it already has little flowers on it, flower buds, which it holds on to for 12 months. It had them last year for 12 months, and then when late spring came, it just dropped the flower buds. They didn't even open. So this guy here is the slowest growing of all sapotes, the Sapodilla. But the Mamey is not any better. This guy here, when it fruits, it takes up to 2 years for the fruit to develop on the tree. You heard right, 2 years for fruit to develop on the tree before it's ripe. Yeah, the Mamey sapote. That's my flagship Sapote here at Fruitopia, and it's a seedling. Right there it is. Attempt only at your own risk to grow this one in Melbourne, and the Sapodilla, but specifically this one. Not easy, guys, not easy, but somehow he surprised me, and he passed with flying colors. He got an A+ in the greenhouse. Yet I lost all these other trees. Look how many I lost, but not this. This one made it. Go figure. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching all this way. This is not a sapote. This is not what do you call it? A sapote as in the ones I just showed you, but it is called a Colombian sapote in South America. But I just wanted to put this in at the end of the video. It's the one I got recently. It's called chupa chupa. That's what it's known by in its native countries in South America. But we call it matisia, and that was a recent purchase. So I just wanted to throw that in as well, for whatever it's worth. It's so attractive, right? I potted all the new plants from Dailies a few days ago, and I have them in the shade. I just brought this out to the sun for the video. I don't know how well he's gonna do, but now in summer, of course, he's gonna be growing and growing and growing. But we'll have to see it when winter comes to see what he does then. Chupa chupa. All right, guys, that's today's video. Yeah, that's how I protect them underneath a fig tree. We're talking serious sensitivity to the hot sun when they're young, even though they're extreme tropicals. Okay, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and add your comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And please add your own request of what you would like me to film, just like you did with this video, and I'll be happy to check out your request and go from there. Thanks, guys. See you from the next video.